Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about a bunch of products that I just regret buying. With me focusing much more on using what I have versus purchasing in 2019, it has really allowed me to not only use up products, but really scrutinize products and not get caught up in all the newness. And I have found a lot throughout this year that there are so many products I have that I've amassed either through different subscription services or amassed through purchasing that just don't make my heart sing, and so I need to share them with you and get them out of my life. So if that sounds good to you, let's go ahead and get started. My first item that I have is the bulkiest item. It is from Storybook Cosmetics. I have come to this realization that I want to love Storybook Cosmetics, and I love the idea of them. I think what they do is really cool. They take their love of things that are movies and books and they combine them with the cosmetics world. I've never purchased any of their palettes. I've not frankly seen the best reviews on their palettes, but I own their original set of wand brushes and I like 90% of them. And I follow them on Instagram, which is where they do a lot of discussion about their business. They do a lot of updates on there, yada yada. So one day they randomly posted a flash sale item to, I think, clear out some of their inventory. And they had their Arrow brush set for I think it was like $15, and with it shipped it was like $20. So I very quickly bought it, and this is what it looks like. It is a gorgeous design and so well thought out. You have this essentially holder for your arrows. Forgive me, I don't know the actual name of the bow and arrow archery field. And the way these sit, they don't actually touch the bottom. They are all caught by the size or circumference of the circles, and they just sit up top here. You can see that they actually shake around, which is again really thoughtful design. And the brushes are so cool. Look at these. Look at how cool these are. But here's my problem. I'm going to show you these brushes. So you're given a crease brush, which, all right, cool. I'm on board. Crease brush. These are, I believe, synthetic bristles. It's a decent crease brush. I don't have a lot of problems about it. Is it my go-to holy grail? No, but it gets the job done. And you have this flat liner brush, which again, okay, I would prefer it to be cut a bit diagonally, but I get it. It can be more universal. You can put it underneath your lash line. You can also use it above your top lash line. Okay, it's got some versatility to it. I get it. But then we get to the other three brushes. I just want to hold them up for you. This is what they look like. They are essentially the same brush. The same flat shader brush. I don't get it. I feel like I know I wouldn't have. I would not have purchased these had they not been on that flash sale, and I got really excited about the packaging of this, but I would never have paid full price for these. I knew that. I saw these come out and I was like, that's cool. Yeah, awesome. Great. But then for some reason when the flash sale came, I didn't really scrutinize these enough. I just got suckered into it, and this is just foolish. I don't need three of the same brush. And so this just has sat on my makeup vanity because I don't mix these into my regular brushes because I like the brush holder, and I don't ever think yes, today I will do an eye look that requires 3 flat shader brushes. It's not my thing. And I don't want to keep these 2 brushes. I just don't want this anymore. It's taking up space. The brushes aren't bad brushes. They're just not for me. They're not for my makeup needs. So I bring a serious question to you guys. I've cleaned these very aggressively. They're in nice shape. Would you want me to include these in my upcoming giveaway? Or is that weird? Is that a weird thing to include a brush set that I have used but since cleaned? I don't know. I would just rather this go to somebody who would really appreciate it versus one of my friends who might accept that I'm pawning it off on them, but maybe won't appreciate it. And you can't get this anymore. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments about it. But for me, I just regret buying this. It's not a brush set that worked for me. Keeping with the brush theme before we move on, I have 2 more brushes from a Wet n Wild set that I bought. You guys have probably seen me declutter 80% of the brushes that were in that set. I just frankly regret buying that makeup brush set. I feel like if you were somebody who didn't own a lot of brushes or wanted to get a really holistic set of brushes that you could find some use out of, that was a great set. But for me, I have just slowly found that aside from a couple of brush holes that I had in my collection, most of what was in that set I didn't need and don't think is superior to the makeup brushes that I currently have. And quite honestly, I don't need more makeup brushes. I feel like I've gotten a really great set of holy grail brushes that are my go-tos for every eye look and face application that I could possibly need. So I've really been trying to edit down my collection, and just both of these I already have other versions of that I prefer. The same thing can be said with all 3 of these. I don't even know what brands these are. I feel like these mostly came from either inside palettes or from subscription boxes, but again, I have all of these shaped brushes in just better versions, so I don't need to have these just sitting in a cup taking up space. So these are out and I totally regret getting them. All right, now we can talk about actual colored cosmetics products. First thing that I have is a nail polish. You guys know I don't paint my nails, haven't in a really long time with an exception of my toes. I religiously all year round get a pedicure basically every 2 weeks, but I bring my own nail polish. It's like the one time I get to really test out what's in my polish collection besides the look of it. And the one that I brought for my last pedicure was this Nails Ink Gel Effect with plumping effect with Plastier technology, no UV needed. A lot of words written on this bottle, and the actual color of it is Soho Place. Love this color. Bought a set of these from Haute Look back when they used to do Mani Mondays, and I feel like they don't do those anymore, but I really wanted to try this. The color selection in that little set was awesome. Problem with this is that despite how amazing these claims make it sound, it chipped. And let me tell you, rarely does my toenail polish chip. Like, the apocalypse could come and my nail polish would still hold strong on my toenails. This didn't work. And on top of it, the color wasn't that much of a pop. Like, it just sort of looked a little flat and not as vibrant as I thought it would based on looking at it in the bottle. So for all of those reasons, I would not recommend this to you. I don't think that this is worth it for how pricey Nails Ink is. I'm pretty sure they're sold at Sephora, and so I would not recommend these gel effect polishes. We have a mascara. Rare is it that I have a new mascara to try out these days, but I recently was in CVS looking to do some couponing, and I came across this Physicians Formula Lash Mixologist. And I was like, I got a coupon, this looks good. It has a volume side and it has a length side. And I thought, like, oh, this is kind of like a primer and a mascara 2-in-1, maybe I'll really like it. So you have this side over here, which is your volume side, and then you have this side, which is your length side. Well, let me tell you, we've got some product problems. First off, perhaps you can see that part of the brush doesn't even have product on it, which tells me that one of 2 things is going on. Either the stopper in here is so aggressive that it just scrapes all the product off, or when the wand is put back in, it doesn't actually touch all of the product. So that's kind of a problem. And this side is incredibly like dry and chunky. Like, look at this up close. Like, maybe you can see that there are globs of mascara on here. So this is just no good, this volume side. So you're already down to 1/2 of the mascara. But then when you get over here to the volume side, the same problem is happening. There are just globs of product on the end of this brush. Maybe you can see it. Like, you notice how you can't see the different bristles? That's because there's globs of product on here. And so I was like, well, let me apply it anyways. No. I had arguably the worst mascara moment of my life. I had to wipe all of my eye makeup off and start over, which is atrocious. Like, I'm like, at that point, I am deep into the makeup routine, and to start over, it just sets you back like a whole bunch of time. But there was no saving my eye look. It wasn't just like, oh, I have some mascara on my eyelid, let me wipe it off. It was like, I got punched in the face and had cried, and that's what I was working with. So this is awful. I don't know if this is a fluke or not, but I would not recommend it based on that reality, because you never know if yours might be like this. It's not great. And it's at CVS, so I'm not going to return it. I feel weird for some reason returning things at CVS versus like Sephora or Ulta. So no, would not recommend this mascara to you. I now have a concealer to talk with you guys about, and this is a Julep concealer. It's the Julep Perk-It Under Eye Treatment Brightness. This is in the shade Light. So when I got the foundation that's packaged just like this, I got the concealer both in a Maven Julep box. I was really excited about it. Now, the packaging is very similar. It is this doe foot click up applicator, much like the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. First off, the color Light is super pink. So that isn't the best color match for me, but doable. The other problem that I have with it though is that there's no coverage. Like I would put it on and I would set it, and I would still see my dark eyes, like dark under-eye circles. So it doesn't really perk up or brighten the area. And then most recently, I went to click it out, and I like couldn't get product effectively out of the top. And this is what we're working with. Like, do you see how thin this is? Like there's just no coverage. There's no coverage there. And it has like a weird, I think there's some kind of like skincare property in here, and it no longer seems to be mixed well. Like it just looks separated. I haven't had this that long. Like you see that separation happening in there? I haven't had this that long, and I was hoping I could at least use it up, but no, I would not buy this. I do not recommend this. The foundation was fine, but I think it's really expensive for how much product you get and for how quickly you'll go through it. But this is just awful, and I totally regret putting it into my monthly Maven box because I did not choose wisely. We have two eye products that I regret buying, both of which came from subscription services. First one is a sample. This is from Bite Beauty. It's the Prismatic Multi-Stick Rose Pearl. So it looks like this. It's a really healthy sample that they provided, and it looks really pretty here in the tube. I recently used up my base for my eyeshadow, so I wanted to pull out something new and test it. I thought I would try this. Nope, this is no bueno. This, I feel like when you put it onto a flat surface like my hand here, it looks pretty nice as a color, but when I actually went to apply it straight to my eyelid, it's just like it's like a glitter. It's like a glitter stick almost, and so it didn't actually provide color, it just provided a glittery base, which is not my thing. And when I tried applying this over a powder shadow, it just didn't jive. It would move the powder and leave you with glitter onto your eyelid. So it just doesn't work in either strategy that I would go to ever use this in my everyday makeup routine. And so I regret getting this in that box. I don't know if that's just this color or if all of the colors are like this, but frankly, I'm not somebody who's going to spend a lot of money on an eyeshadow base because there are so many drugstore versions or even like a MAC Painterly Paint Pot, which are guaranteed to provide you exactly what you need for not as much money as something like this. So I would not get this. Totally regret it. The last product that we have is also a shadow stick. This is the DLS eyeshadow crayon in the shade Illusion. This is mad expensive, first off, and my problem with this, I'm pretty sure this is full size. I can't imagine this would just be a sample with this much packaging. My issue with this is that it is really thick on your lids, and so when you apply it, it just applies like a thick layer, and it makes shadow sitting on top of it just look more pronounced. And again, as someone with hooded eyes, that's not a look I want to rock, and I just feel like this makes shadow look really clunky. And when I would use it without shadow, I still felt like my eyes looked clunky. So it just isn't something that I find to be soft and flattering for somebody who has, I guess you could say, like texture on their eyelids or has the moving part of their lid being hidden slightly by the fact that it's hooded. So I just don't think this works for my particular eyelid type. Is that the right phrasing? I don't know, we're gonna go with it. So I don't like this. And on top of this is a really pricey product, so I'm a little bummed that I can't get use out of it, but such is life, and I'm not gonna waste my time working with a product that I don't think flatters my particular eyes. All right, guys, I feel a weight lifted now that I have mentioned these products to you and can get them out of my life. Again, please let me know your thoughts on the Storybook Cosmetics eyeshadow brush set. And aside from that, I'll talk to you guys in the next video real soon. Bye.